Hi everyone, this is Sean. Welcome back to my channel. Press the like button, subscribe, and share, and comment. I always look forward to the dialogue. Guys, I don't know if you could tell from my voice, but I'm just bummed out today. Bummed out the whole week. Keep thinking about the Uvalde school shooting and all the children that perished, 21 of them. Well, 19 children and 2 teachers who tried their best to the last minute to defend their children. I just keep seeing their images, their faces, and I feel so horrible. I just feel so guilty as an American. Their life is just so innocent. Today's video, we're going to talk about whether or not it's a good idea as a parent to enter the school. If there's a mass shooting incident, there's an active shooting incident, should you go there? And then we'll also talk about private security. What can you expect from the parents who are trying to enter the campus or who are thinking about entering the campus? What can you expect if you delay your response? So let's begin. Early in the day, I was actually picking up my 2 children from elementary school, and I just ran through all types of scenarios in my mind, and I thought, hey, what if this happened? What if I'm driving and I hear gunfire? What if I'm at home and I get a call from the school that there's been an active shooter incident, but everything is under control? How would I react to that? Guys, I do want to disclose that I am active duty full-time law enforcement. I'm not going to show you no badge or any credentials, but that's what I do for a living. Nothing that I say in this video is legal advice, not professional advice, does not represent the employer who I work for. This is just Sean's opinions, Sean's tips on things. I say that because as a law enforcement officer, sworn law enforcement officer in California, I'm able to carry on campus, off duty or on duty, and when I retire, I can still carry a firearm on campus. Private security can also do the same thing as long as they're on duty and they have their permits and they have a contract with the school. I'm just saying that. I don't want you to think that I'm trying to put myself up here. I'm just trying to show you that my response might be a little bit more different than somebody else's. I don't think it's fair that I get a concealed weapon permit and a lot of you who've been trying to get a permit can't get a permit, especially California. Or Californians get especially screwed with the concealed weapon permit program. It's more of a political program more than anything. So I'm just disclosing that, just throwing that out there to you guys. Let's talk about a parent. So if I know that my kids are, they're on the campus and there's an active shooter incident, guys, my first response as a parent is to climb the fence and rescue my child. That's my first response. Now, I will tell you, as a law enforcement officer, if I'm driving by a school and I hear shots ringing out, I'm going to climb the fence and stop the threat. Now, that's assuming that the shots are barely ringing out. How am I going to be able to tell? I don't know. This hasn't happened yet. Okay. But let's just say some time has passed, 3 minutes or 20 minutes. And I know that there's an active shooter on campus and law enforcement has set a perimeter already. And I'm a parent that I want to go in there. I want to rescue my child. Guys, parents and myself will scorch the whole earth to save our family. There's not much that you could put between me and my family. I'm going to go through whatever means possible to save my family. And I know that you share the same sentiment if you have children. And you might have the same mindset for our youth out there. That's okay. It's okay even if you don't have children. But us adults, we normally think this way towards our children. They're innocents. They've done nothing wrong at all. And as parents, it's in our DNA. Guys, there's nothing noble about telling other people that you'll die for their children. This is something that we do as parents automatically. There's nothing at all noble about it. It's in our DNA. Those of you who are females watching this video, you guys are the mama bears. You'll do whatever it takes to rescue your child. So that's my first instinct, is I'm going to go over there and rescue my child. I'll tell you this already, that it could potentially be a bad idea, and here's why. So if you're entering campus, you're running past a perimeter, this active shooter could potentially stop firing at whatever he's firing at and direct fire at you. Maybe they'll stop directing fire at police, but they'll start directing fire towards you, and whoever's in back of you, to the side of you or near you, is a casualty. If you happen to get hit, you're no longer an asset anymore. You're a liability, because now we need somebody to rescue you, somebody to save you. And guys, the fire department is staging like miles away. Okay, they're not going to go there and rescue you. So here's a problem. And this is how the fire department, this is how they triage emergencies. Whoever is injured the most, whoever's the most critical gets most of the attention. So let's just say that you got hit in the femoral artery and a child got shot in the hand, but is not bleeding out. Maybe not yet. Do you know who's going to get more help? It's you. You're going to get more help than the child. Maybe the child got a gunshot wound to the femoral artery, and somebody's able to apply a tourniquet, maybe a teacher. But you got hit so bad that you need CPR. Guys, I mean, if you lose consciousness, it's going to take 2 or 3 people to start rescuing you. And you might say, well, who cares about my life? It's not the way it works, guys. They're going to still attend to you. If you are unconscious, they're going to still attempt to rescue you. And they're going to triage whoever's the most injured. You're taking away resources from the children and selfishly redirect them towards you. Now, you might be inclined again to rescue your child. You'll run onto campus, enter campus, and just go to your child's classroom. Well, what's the problem with that? Well, what if this active shooter situation occurred during the recess period or during a break when the kids are transitioning from one place to another? Your child might not be in that classroom at all. And what if you enter the campus and you go through the wrong end, guys? Maybe you go through the end where there's not a lot of law enforcement, so you can sneak through. Okay? So now all of a sudden, law enforcement believes that you are the active shooter or a person of interest. Now they need to redirect all their resources to you. Maybe the active shooter was on one part of the campus. Now all of a sudden they're redirecting all their attention to you, who is on another part of the campus. Guys, it's not only about you, it's about everybody. You might be the one to have a firearm, concealed weapon permit. I'm going to rescue my son or daughter. So you go in the classroom, you engage in a gunfight with this person. What could happen? Well, number one, if you've ever been in a gunfight or lethal force encounter, then you would know that you tunnel vision. Some guy starts coming out with an AK-47 or AR-15, starts blasting away, or in a regular gun. Your attention is directed towards the muzzle of the gun. And everything else just disappears. The whole backdrop just disappears. In that backdrop are other children that are scared, that they're scared, they're on the ground, they don't want to get hit. So you might actually hit one of these children. Now, you engage in a gunfight, beginning with this person starts shooting at you. Whoever's in back of you, whoever's near you can actually become a casualty. Guys, I'm going to make this clear. If you're one of these guys that conceal carry, and I want everybody to conceal carry, everybody who should be conceal carrying, please conceal carry if you're able to. But if you're going to be selfish and enter this campus and engage in a gunfight with this person, if my kids get hit because of your selfish activity, if you miss and you hit my child, or all of the resources, law enforcement resources that was there, if they're redirecting their attention to rescue you or to attend to you who is on another part of campus, and my child gets killed as a result of the diverted attention, or if the gunman starts to become more frustrated and starts taking out these kids, if anything happens to my kid and your selfish behavior was a factor, I don't even want to say what I would think about doing to you on camera. Obviously, I'm talking about legal litigation. You guys get it. You guys are listening. How would you feel if a parent entered the campus, resources were redirected, and then your kid was struck by gunfire as a result of this parent's negligence? How would you feel? Let me know in the description box below. What I would do is totally different what other people can do. Guys, I train on a regular basis. With my own money out of my pocket, I take as much firearm courses as possible. I'm constantly watching YouTube for different tactics. I guess you could say that's a tactical way, but I'm reinforcing that by attending real courses where I'm in person, and I also instruct others. In order to instruct, you have to hit a certain level of training to feel comfortable instructing others. Okay? I don't say this as a level of arrogance. I just don't want no one to get hurt. Now, this message is for law enforcement. Guys, it really pisses me off, and that's an understatement, to know that law enforcement was staging. I mean, 20 plus years in law enforcement. Guys, I'm a rebel in law enforcement. If I see something is going just totally south, and the sergeant, lieutenant, chief is making the wrong decision, I will I will move them out of the way. What I mean physically is like, hey, get out of my way. I'm going to have to attend to whatever it is, and I don't believe I have to do anything like that in 20 years. Maybe once, I just can't remember right now. But when children's life are at stake, there's no rank. Take those stars off of your collar, those bars, those stripes, rip them off your collar, because they don't mean nothing right now. If you're not taking an appropriate leadership role, take that stuff off, and I'll be the leader of the day. I'll be the incident commander. Just go home. Just go home. Just get out of here. So let's talk about the entry. So what you basically have, you have an active shooter that is holed up in a classroom full of children. Some are bleeding out, some are deceased already. What you have is a hostage situation. Normally somebody that's HRT trained is in a better predicament to handle this. Guys, I train at a level that is significantly below SWAT. I mean, I'm not saying that my level of training is at SWAT level or HRT, Hostage Rescue Team. That's the acronym. It's not. Mine's at the firearm instructor level, and then that's it. I'm no special person. However, in modern day law enforcement, I was a police explorer 97, by the way, you guys, 98. Columbine was in 99. 99-ish. As an explorer, we started training for active shooter incidents in our scenarios. What you do is you look for this person. You don't stage. You don't set a perimeter. You go in there and you look for this person. Now, the problem here is that we have untrained persons, right? One of my subscribers sent me a video of the, I forgot the name of the city already, guys. Uvalde Police Department in full SWAT gear, or HRT gear. It just puzzles me with this photo op. I mean, what happened? Um, anyhow, the modern day officer is trained to just go in there. Guys, I come from a small agency. Um, I want to say maybe two or three times the population of Uvalde, but it's a small town, and we're supported by Border Patrol, just like Uvalde. Um, but we are trained. It's ingrained in us that we have to go on campus and look for this person. We find this person. If they're a deadly threat, then we stop the threat. We don't wait for SWAT. We all know that you wait for SWAT, what can end up happening. Guys, I've waited for BORTAC. That was a specialized unit that went into the classroom and took this person out. They are elite. You guys, these guys are special operations on the civilian side. They're full time SWAT members, not part time. Full time guys. LAPD has a full time SWAT team. Riverside has a full time SWAT team. These are full time SWAT members. These members are truly elite guys. They go to different locations in helicopters. They learn how to rappel. I feel very confident with their HRT skills. Um, as a police officer, you have to be trained enough in order to make precision shots. And I know that you may not be HRT trained, but at least go in there and make the precision shots. You have to take the risk. There's children, guys. There's children, and if you have a chief that's telling you no, hey, stand back. No, no, no. These children's life is on the line. You could stand back, and all go in. Now I see that the chief is probably trying to prevent the officers from going in because he doesn't want more casualties. He doesn't want his officers to get hurt. He has that father mindset. I get it. But there's a time and place for that. This is not the time and place. We got to go in there. Now, I don't want a Monday night quarterback, but I want to learn. I was watching the Security University and Security Solution channel. He has great input about this incident. And his whole thing is, hey, let's learn from this. Okay, let's not Monday night quarterback, but we want to learn how can we do this better next time, and that's what we're on the channel for. If your security, especially armed security and center perimeter guys, if you don't go in there and stop the threat, parents are going to climb the fence, and they're going to engage with this threat. I'll tell you right now, as a parent, not even as a peace officer, California peace officer, as a parent, with a weapon or without a weapon, if you do not allow me to go inside, and if I know that you're just standing there and setting the perimeter, you're waiting for the SWAT team, and I've waited for BORTAC, for Border Patrol SWAT team, and I've waited for 2 hours sometimes. Sometimes I waited for 6 hours, guys. If I know that they're waiting for that moment, I'm going to hop the fence, run as fast as I can, and save my child, whether I have a weapon or not. That is the mindset of a parent, you guys. That's what we do as parents. I'm blessed to have different options, but that's the mindset. The threat has to be stopped, or you're gonna have to deal with the parents. I don't think any parent should be criminally charged for interfering with the investigation. They're parents, guys, and it hurts me to see that the officers had to resort to some level of force to restrain the parents. It just hurts me to see that. Again, taking orders that are not reasonable. I'm not too sure I can do that, guys. And again, in my whole career, 20 years, even dealing with a critical incident, I haven't had a sergeant, a chief, a lieutenant, or a commander, nothing I could think of, where they told me to stand down, and I needed to not stand down. I can't think of any incidents, but being interjected in that situation, there's a time and place where, hey, you know what, this is enough. So just keep that in mind. I know some of you are unarmed security. God bless you guys. There's a lot less options. There's a lot of viewers here that might be school security, and you might be wondering, well, what can I do? Well, you're set at a perimeter, and then you have to keep the parents from coming in still. But just keep in mind, they're gonna jump that fence. If that threat is not eliminated, that's it. And guys, if I ever get a phone call from my school, where my kids are at, when I arrive, the threat better be eliminated, or I better hear gunfire going off and on, and it's officers, police officers, law enforcement officers, border patrol, you name it. They're the ones that are exchanging gunfire, and I hear it, but I don't want to just hear silence and then a stage. That's gonna just cause me to climb the fence or walk through the barriers. Okay, guys, I know I talked a long time, 20 minutes. I try my best to keep it under 10, but I just have to get these things off my mind. Really, really looking forward to your input. Um, how would you deal with a situation like this when the parents are trying to breach the perimeter to save their children? What do you, as a parent, how do you feel? Would you just, if you feel nothing's being done at all, you're being held outside, and knowing your child's being slaughtered, would you just run in there even without a weapon? Or would you just find an improvised weapon? I know if you have a firearm, there's a lot more that you can do. But guys, let's consider everything that I discussed in the video, and I'm looking forward to your feedback. You guys all take care and be safe.